So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how a heat pump works. Now, you've probably heard about heat pumps, and you probably know that they're used in many buildings nowadays, but there's a lot of things behind heat pumps that people really don't understand. And a lot of people often wonder, how exactly does a heat pump work? What is involved with the process of a heat pump? So that's what I'm going to explain in this video. I'm going to give you a very detailed look at the cycle that is involved with a heat pump. Now, one thing I will mention right away, people often wonder, well, what is the difference between an air conditioning system and a heat pump? Well, an air conditioner and a heat pump are basically the same thing. They're similar in very many ways. The only difference is that an air conditioning system only goes in one direction. With a heat pump, it's reversible. So a heat pump can provide heat in the winter, but it can also provide coolness in the summer. It's reversible. It can go either way. So I'm going to show you this diagram, and I'm going to basically show you the cycle of the heat pump. And it basically concerns two coils. So you have basically an outdoor coil and an inside coil inside the house. And basically you have this circle, this cycle, and I'm going to explain to you what happens in this cycle and how it works. And I'm going to start up here in the top left. So you have the outside coil, and you'll often see these outside of a building. At the beginning of the video, I showed a few different images of these outdoor coils and what they look like. I'm sure you've seen these before. They're usually roughly the same size, and they can be many different colors. They can be black, gray, white, silver, whatever. But basically, if we start up here in the top left in the outdoor coil, the refrigerant, and again, this system runs very similarly to an air conditioning system. It has refrigerant in it. When the refrigerant comes out of that outside coil, it's basically a low pressure, low temperature vapor. And that's another thing to understand about the refrigerant. As it goes through this cycle, it's always changing from a liquid to a vapor and so on. And I'll explain that more as we go along. So it comes out of the outside coil as a low pressure, low temperature vapor. And as the refrigerant is traveling through the system towards the compressor, and the compressor is basically the motor, it's the heart of this entire system. So as that low pressure, low temperature vapor is coming out of the outside coil, going towards the compressor, the refrigerant absorbs heat from the air and it boils to a vapor. So it goes into the compressor as a vapor. When it comes out of the compressor, it's basically going to become a high pressure, high temperature vapor. And it's at this point, it's starting to go into the inside coil located inside the house. And that's where you get the heat, especially the heat that you need in the wintertime. And the refrigerant releases heat to the air inside the house. And at this point, it starts to return to a liquid state. So it has changed from a vapor into a liquid. And when it comes out of the inside coil, it's a high pressure, high temperature liquid. Now it travels along, it goes back outside again, it goes through an expansion device, and after passing through the expansion device, it starts to become a low pressure, low temperature liquid, and it starts to enter again into the outside coil, and the whole cycle starts all over again. So again, that's really the convenient thing about heat pumps, is that when it's going in that direction, it can provide heat in the winter months. But because up here you have this reversing valve, you can reverse the entire process. So for example, if you want heat in the wintertime, of course in the summer you're going to want coolness. So you can reverse the entire process so that it will basically provide coolness inside the house during the summer months. And that's basically how it works. Now, some people have asked, well, what's the advantages of heat pumps over air conditioning? Well, heat pumps tend to be more expensive. The heat pump system tends to be more expensive than an air conditioning system, but that's just one factor. So I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching. I hope you can join us again next time. Please feel free to leave a comment, give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do. It's always greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.